So why is value-based care by measuring outcomes so important?
Outcomes defined as what matters most to patients in order to live as normal and productive lives and thereby be part of the society are important to understand because that tells us how well we can live our lives. And that is to move away from what we mostly measure today, like structural metrics, indicators, talking more about what's the matter with you as a patient instead of talking what matters to you.
Why is this so important to you?
Because I'm a physician. And I've also been a researcher, did my PhD. I worked in the life science industry. I worked as heading a governmental agency in Sweden. And in all these different silos I have worked, I've always thought about understanding how do I understand the value I contribute in my different roles as a physician or as a director general to the much more holistic perspective of how well patients can live their lives and be part of the society. And I have had huge difficulties finding that because I think we maximize our work in the area where we are put, so to say. And when I therefore came across this discussion about moving away from the thinking of volume, what we produce, to the value we create in healthcare, I became very excited. And then it all came down to, then we also need to understand and involve patients and carers in defining what matters most.
Okay. So what big challenges do you see reaching for health equity next 10 years?
I think that Sweden is an amazing country in the sense that we have a long history of quality registers, 30 years of history or more. We have 105 or something quality registers today, which the world looks upon and always admires. Our challenge is, as we have heard in this conference so far, also to come into a common platform where we really can use these data. We know we are all growing older. We have multiple diseases and multiple medical conditions. And today, unfortunately, very little of the information we have can come together and be a true area for discussion between the healthcare professionals, the patients, and the carers. We have still silos. So a common IT platform, a semantic interoperability to be created so that we can use all the data we have, I think is for Sweden a challenge. And probably not the only country, but Sweden is quite advanced in this. So that's an area where I think we need to focus the resources here. And then, of course, longer term, to really figure out how we can reimburse for the outcomes and the value created instead of the volume produced. In very many countries, we are much more focused on the fee-for-service. The more we do, the more we actually get paid. And we know from examples that when you really involve patients and carers in the discussion and you discuss what matters to you in your life situation, we may have the same medical condition, you and I, but our lives look very different. So we might choose different outcomes as the most important. Someone might like to live a couple of weeks longer to actually see children or grandchildren graduate. One would like to have a higher life quality and be able to stay at home. And that makes also the decision on what kind of treatment completely different. And that's why I'm always amazed when I listen to news and read that patients and the discussions are about the newest innovation and the most expensive treatment is almost the best. I don't think so. I think that there could be very many different treatments depending on the outcome that matters most to you. And then we finally can come to talk about equal care, because equal care is not the same care for everyone. It's the care that really takes you to the outcomes that matters to you. Because then we can all live much more normal and productive lives and be part of the society. So it's common sense.